Alright YouTube, so diving right into this video, I was kind of getting prepared to kind of show you guys the different parts and pieces, right? But I finally figured out an issue, and I'll explain the issue a little bit deeper. But I want you guys to see this. So you see that end? This is the plug-in for the ECU, right? And you see that's basically corrosion. That's all over these different pins. And like I said, I want to show you this at the very beginning of the video so you understand what I had to deal with, and also you see what can happen when you don't use some of the right parts and pieces and wires and things of that nature. And I think I just figured out some of the issues I was having. So like I said, I wanted to show you this. I'm kind of disassembling some of the stuff. I'm going to dive into it here in a minute once I get finished taking care of that. But yeah, so here I am, camera sideways. We're gonna get in the video in a second. Let me just kind of get myself together, but welcome to the video. Another video that I would consider like some maintenance and upkeep that I need to do on the truck. So as you guys know, upgraded to the 6-liter engine that's right behind me. Some new fuel injectors and things like that. But one thing that's been giving me an issue, not really since I've done it, but over the last about year and a half, has been the electric fans. So this is a 02 Silverado so I believe from, what was it, 97 to 02, and maybe some work trucks after that. You had the mechanical clutch fan that would go on the front of the water pump. You'd have your big shroud right here and everything like that with your fan in the shroud to pull air from the front of the truck to cool everything. With that being said, I decided that I wanted to upgrade. So I have basically the 03 and newer, bigger radiator in the truck, plus dual fans, like the factory style dual fans that can go on the bigger radiator. So let me back up a little bit. So that setup I got kind of put together. So I have another video on YouTube, right? I had the stock radiator on the truck. So not the big one like I just said that's on here now. The big one's about 4 inches wider, so not a lot of capacity, but it has made a difference for sure. But like I said, I had the stock radiator in it, and what I tried to do was run a single, I guess you could say high CFM fan on the truck. There's two problems with that. Well, more than two, but there's a couple problems with that. One, you got one fan. So if that fan goes out, guess what? You have no fan running on that truck or vehicle. It doesn't have to be just a truck. The other part of it is you have that smaller radiator, which is okay for the fan because it's, kind of, it's really not okay for the fan. You have a smaller radiator plus one fan. So let's say the fan does go out, that's a part of it. Now you have a smaller radiator with even less water that's gonna get hotter faster. Like I said, I have the dual fans, the bigger radiator, all that stuff. Well, the problem is I bought the fans, bought the radiator. I got like a factory radiator. That's all you need. And I got this fan from PCM Performance, or what is it? PCM of NC. So this is their logo. Maybe I shouldn't show that. I'll have to blur that out. Y'all might come find me. But PCM of NC. When I did this, I was a little bit younger, trying to be smart with my money, whatever, trying to upgrade stuff when you don't really have all the money to do what you need to do. So I decided, I was working at Attitude Streetcars at the time, and I said, hey, we can wire this up ourselves. I don't need this harness. It's kind of expensive for a harness. Let's not do it. Well, in hindsight, many years later, not only did I wish I bought the harness then, but I bought the harness now, just because I'm tired of dealing with it. So the biggest thing is, especially with fans and when you're dealing with heat, these fans, they draw a lot of power. They draw a lot of power. The hotter the temperature is outside, the hotter the fans get, the harder they work, the more power they pull. The other trick to it is when I did this swap with the big fans and the big radiator, I did it in like the winter time. So really, I didn't really have any problems at all. And I was like, shoot, I'm good, I'm Gucci, I don't have to worry about it. So anyways, boy, it's raining outside. I thought somebody was running up on me. It just started raining out of nowhere. But anyways, I know I'm rambling on, but this is a lot of information. Take this in. I'm telling you all the headaches that I had to deal with. But I'll hurry up. So, like I said, I was dealing with temperature problems. Then once it got to like spring in Georgia, spring and into summertime, it wasn't working out. Fans were going out, both fans were going out, because one thing I did, which is silly, I wired each fan together. So basically if one went out, the other one went out when it could have kept going. Eventually I stopped doing that and wired them separately. One would go out and then you're only running on one, the temperature's bouncing up and down. And then I mentioned the corrosion on the ECU and the pins. So I believe that's another problem. Shout out to Attitude Streetcars again, Attitude Streetcars, Brandon over there. He helped me out because basically the fans, and I don't know why, the fans were causing the idle air control valve to go crazy, right? I figured out you pull a fuse, do this, it stops, but you gotta have the fuse, you gotta have your idle air control valve because it won't idle. Well, Brandon got this relay for me, redid some wiring, he's a wiring guru, and just made it to where it will work, where the fans will work, the idle air control valve will work the way they need to and they wouldn't interfere. Well, now that I look at that pin, that's another problem. Some type of moisture got in there, but I think that ground with the fans going crazy caused a lot of that. So I'm gonna try to fix that up as well. Moral of the story is I'm fixing this. How am I fixing this? With the PCM harness that I'm gonna show you guys. And this video isn't about installing the fans and putting the fans in. It's really simple. These trucks, if you have an O2 like mine, I'm gonna try to show this to you guys. If you have an O2 Silverado like mine, okay. So it's really hard for you to see, but these are the dual fans right here. Behind it is obviously the radiator. But let me show you what I'm talking about. So these fans, or the mounting point. So with the smaller radiator and the clutch fan or even an electric fan, you run your radiator mounts to this hole. So like this bracket for this radiator goes right here. Same thing on the other end, right? But this is the thing, this core support is like for the 2500s, and it's also for the, I don't think they stopped using the core support to like 2010, 2012, whenever they finally changed the whole front end of these trucks. So this hole is always here. Like I said, if you got a 97 all the way up to 2010, whatever year, 2012, you have this hole. Now, like before, this hole for this bolt that I have here was empty. Nothing went there. I actually used like this bracket that I have for some other stuff. I had it here. It was just an empty hole. Same thing on this side. Your radiator will mount here. And then, like I said, I had the clutch fan, so there wasn't a mount for the fans because the fan mounted down there, right? Simple enough. So if you get these fans, PCM of NC is where I got these fans as well. You literally take your radiator out, because that's the first thing. You take your radiator out, you're gonna put your big one in. Your big one's gonna go in this hole right here. You're gonna slide your fans in. The bottom of the radiator has little tabs, like little hooks that sit like this, where the fan kind of slides in them and sits down there. Plus it almost sits, there's like a tray where for the bottom core support that it almost sits in, but like I said, it sits in a little tab that's like that. And then you use these two bolt holes. So you literally don't have to modify anything. If I had actually gotten the parts that I needed, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now, but it's a video. So, but that's how you install it. If you're like, oh, how do I do this? That's how you install it. It's very, very simple. It's all factory stuff. It all fits, pretty simple. I think I reused the bolts that I had, and maybe two of them, I do remember two of them that I reused the radiator bolts on the radiator because the whole like thread is the same. And then for the fans, I just found some bolts because I think they're different, like different size heads, but the same thread. Because I've got, you know, a bolt bend. If you got a bolt bend, use that. Anyways, God, this video is going to be way longer than I want it to be. Anyways, that's where we're at now. So we're replacing this stuff. Fans are going crazy, fans are going out. And let me show you the harness. All right, so you wiring gurus and people who love wiring, don't make fun of me. I don't hate it, it's not that bad, but sometimes I just don't understand it fully. So I just kind of get by with what I can. So this is actually what Brandon made for me with this bad boy relay that he had to use to kind of make the truck work. Because like I said, I was having some different problems. But this is the majority of the harness that's been on the fans for a while. The biggest problem is just like all this AutoZone type wiring that's just like, which fan is the one that's messed up? This one. So it just burns it up. It literally just, the fans, that when they draw so much power, these wires can't handle it and it just burns them up. They either get burned, the whole clips come off, they get burned up. The wires, like I said, at one point I had them to where they were running and they would just burn through the whole. It was just bad stuff, bad wiring, a lot of splices, things like that. I was just getting by, like I said. But luckily, we got the Camaro all covered up. The PCM harness, where the heck is it? Oh, it's in the truck. The PCM harness is none of that. So look at the, and then the other thing is too, I was just using like little slide-in tabs to hook up to the fans because it would work, right? But the PCM harness, look at these wires. Just, I mean, I know you can't really tell, but just know they're way thicker, much more insulated. Good ends that are, you know, insulated as well. Fuses on the wire, so if one goes out, you still can run one fan. I got the one with the 3 relays, so you can run low speed and high speed, AC as well. Just good connections that go directly to the fan, butt connectors, you know, factory seals, everything like that. Just good stuff. I mean, I haven't hooked it up yet, but I can already tell it's 1,000 times better. So that's what we're dealing with. We're gonna get this bad boy right. I'm gonna set you guys up on a tripod. I'll probably just put it all together and kind of break it down that way. But that's the gist of it. That's what you're dealing with. You do have to get into the ECU. There's another good video that PCM recommends you watch. I've watched it. I'll link that down below. Big old 6.0 in here, just ready to go to work. I haven't driven it in a week and I kind of miss it. So we're gonna get this back together. But I got the engine running, obviously, to build some heat in it. And we're gonna see if the fans will come on. Now, if they don't come on, I got bigger fish to fry. If they do come on, I'm gonna give this kit a thumbs up. So I'll let you know in a second. I got the HP tuners running and everything, so we'll see. As you can just see, by my excitement. And basically, if you heard it, if you didn't, the fans work. They work, they came on, and now they work even better. So let me give you a little tidbit. How I had it set up, basically it was hot wired with like a ground trigger. We were using the ECU to trigger the ground, so it's like not a constant ground, and it's not hooked up to anything random. Basically go in HP tuners and turn on the fan system, because even if your truck doesn't have electric fans, the ECU has ability, it's just not turned on until you go in HP tuners or something similar to that to turn the fans on. So with that being said, basically the fans would come on and that was it, they would come on. But they would only come on by temperature of the coolant system. I don't know when I'll add this in, but I want to say the instructions for this kit, for the fans, for the harness, are A1. Very easy to understand. Like I said, I'm not a wire whiz or anything like that, but it was very easy. If you've done anything, the instructions, you won't have a problem. Color and everything, color printed, pictures, everything. Can't beat it, I promise. So I was rudely interrupted by my camera overheating. So it's hot. I still look like a glazed donut, but I just drove the truck while this thing was cooling down and we're good to go. The fans, they come on low speed. We were just idling, which is cool because before, I don't even think they were ever high speed. Well, I think they were high speed only, but they wouldn't come on high speed automatically when you turn the AC on, but now they do. The AC, it definitely blew really, really good. I went to a couple stoplights and idled, stopped here at the front of the neighborhood, idled there for a while. AC was running good. I had my HP tuners, never went over 200 degrees. It wanted to, like it was like 199 and it dropped back down to 196, 199, 194. Like fought that the whole time, never crept over that, never crept over 199. So I think we're dialed in. Connections. The one thing, so the harness, it was backwards. So the fans they were blowing air out of the engine bay instead of blowing or sucking air into the engine bay through the radiator. And I've had that happen before, and I think it'll kind of help, but I don't think the radiator flows that way, so it doesn't really help keep the water cool and all that good stuff. So anyways, I just turned the harness around because luckily like they're not super directional, and now the fans work because the fans are just polar. So you plug power in one hot and ground and it'll spin one way. You flip it around, it flips the other way. So I just flip the harness around and we're good to go. So that's the only thing I can say. Maybe I have the older fans set up from what they offered. I don't know, but like I said, easy fix. Now we're good to go, everything's Gucci. So I guess we'll go check it out. So yeah, so there it is. Like I said, I already had the electric fans. Everything's super clean. I tried to, I mean, you're not really gonna be able to see too much. Wires are tucked underneath there. There's a little module back there. These trucks with wiring, unless you go through and actually really wire it really well, they're never gonna look that great, but it's a lot cleaner than what I had. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. I've talked a lot. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Got something else cooking for the truck pretty soon. Got parts over there for the Camaro that I've had for a while that I need to put on. So like I said, I'm gonna keep uploading. I uploaded a video today. Check that one out. This one will be going up probably in about a couple days. Get back in the routine of uploading. But other than that, this is your boy Stan. Like, subscribe. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers. If you made it this far, give this video a thumbs up. You're a real winner. I appreciate it. Everybody have a good day.